Right, so as we saw in the previous video, this little colored pin here are here to share some data between functions. Okay, so we could promote this to variable. So when I get in here, right, so this is all my little variable nodes that I created in here. So to create a variable, you just have to click on the little plus in here. Right, so you're gonna ask you for a name. Let's take my int 64. Compile. When I compile, just compiling the type, so you can choose integer 64, compile, and ask for default value. So let's put 19. Press OK and save. So every variable has its own color to work with. So boolean will be red, integer will be green, string magenta, and etc. So every time that you create a variable here, it's going to display on this variable panel, variable tab in here. So this little single node is to get the value of the variable. So if, for example, I just had here, like in the previous video, promote this to a variable, just click here to promote to variable, or I just can, I'm gonna delete this one, and drag here the value that I want to print on my screen. So my string, the value is my string variable value, and it's going to print the value of this variable here. Okay, so you can get it just by pressing Control on the keyboard and drag and drop it on your graph. Or if you want to set the variable, just press Alt and drag and drop it on the graph. And you can set a value in here, change variable value. So when you do this, it's gonna set a new value to this my string variable. Alright, so when you're first creating a variable, you're gonna see this little A icon in here. So this means that your variable is private. So only this blueprint can access it. It can work only in this blueprint. But if you want to make it public, so you can edit it from the viewport, you can just click on this little A icon so it turns yellow. And you can enter a tooltip. Tooltip is just when you hover the mouse over this variable, a little description of what you can do with this variable. So let's admit I'm going to set cube visible, set cube visible, this is to set the cube visible. Alright, so here done green, compile, save, and now this variable is public. I'm going to show you a little example on your character. If I just find it and double click on it. So if I just click on set, I'm going to create variable, player visible. I'm going to make it public, tooltip, set the visibility of the character. So as you can see in here, I have my player visible. If I go back to my viewport and click my actor, I see here default, player visible, false and true. So the thing I can do is just come back here and change the category of my character. So I don't have this default here. Just can change it by visibility of the player. If I just save it, compile, I go back to here and I can see visibility of the player it's set to false. So I have my default value, which is a boolean, that is false by default. If I get true, this is the default value. Come back in here, I see my visible player is true. Alright, so I'm going to set it so when the game just begin, on begin play, where's my context here? Oh, it's already somewhere. Where is I'm going to do it here. So if this is an if statement branch, if it's true, if the condition here is true, it's going to fire this wire in here. If it's false, it's going to fire this one. So if player visible, you can just drag and drop it in here. If it's true, set visibility, calling a function of my mesh. So here you can see my mesh is also a variable, so I can just drag and drop it to get access to every component of this object. So new visibility false. I can copy and paste here to false too. Visibility, press play. Alright, so when the game begins, it's going to construct my character, so it's going to check this variable. If this variable is true, this wire is going to connect. If not, this one. Alright, so my character is visible, so that's why I can see him, can move around. If I unchecked this little box here, as you can see inside the viewport, my player disappeared. Press play, and he's now invisible. Alright, so you can also in variable create some array. If you want an array of integer, you can just click on this little bar, correct bar here, and select. So you have array, setter, and map. The most common is just the single variable and array. So you can change the type of the variable, change type. Now you have an array. So if you want to get the first value, just drag a wire from here, type in get. If you want to get the reference of a copy or a copy, just hover the mouse over this kind of little getter, little function to see what they offer you. So I'm just going to get a reference, which array which size of the array I want to get. If it's the first one, I just type in 1 and I can print it or do whatever I want with it. If I want to print string. Alright, so you know, here print string just take a string array to a string variable to display. So when I drag a wire from here, I cannot plug it here. I have to convert it to string. So when I drag a wire from here and plug it directly inside it, you can see convert integer by ref to string. So it converts automatically my integer to a string. So it's kind of useful. You can get it from basically every kind of variable that you want. As you can see, convert vector to string, convert rotator to string, etc. I'm going to do this because it's getting kind of messy here. Alright, so that's everything that you need to know, I think. Yep. So I'm going to pause this video here and see you on the next one.